Hello, I'm Laura Moody, Senior Director of Stewardship and Sustainability Programs at the Fertilizer Institute. 6 years ago, the Fertilizer Institute significantly stepped up efforts to advance awareness and adoption of fertilizer best management practices, collectively known as the 4 Rs. In the last 9 months, those efforts were assessed as we updated our 4R strategic plan. Awareness has greatly increased, but additional efforts are needed to further expand 4R adoption within the fertilizer industry and in the field. This presentation is geared toward enhancing your understanding of the 4Rs, their connection to environmental and productivity outcomes, and efforts underway for knowledge and outreach. TFI's Board of Directors consider 4R nutrient stewardship efforts a priority for the industry. They recognize the value of fertilizer in feeding the world and the negative role nutrients play if lost from a cropping system. Fertilizers are a key component of food security in the U.S., in North America, and around the globe. It has been estimated that 50% of food production is the result of fertilizer use. In other words, without commercial fertilizer use, 50% of the food would not be produced, and 50% of the population could be at risk of going hungry. When a crop is harvested, nutrients, N, P, and K for example, are removed from the soil's nutrient supply and need to be replenished for the next crop. Nutrients removed with the crop are the valued nutrients you consume to maintain a healthy diet. Replenishing removed nutrients to maintain productive soils is a necessity in agriculture, whether using organic or commercial nutrient sources. Unmanaged nutrient applications can increase nutrient losses and potentially degrade air and water quality. And ignoring fertilizer needs can result in decreased fertility and decreased yields. Considering the increasing societal demand of sustainably produced food, fiber, feed, and fuel, global financial stress, and growing concerns over the impacts of water and air quality, simultaneous improvement of productivity and resource use efficiency is an essential goal for agriculture. Increasing productivity and improving efficiency are intrinsically linked. Striving to improve efficiency without also increasing productivity simply increases the pressure to produce more on other lands which may be less suited to agricultural production. Simply put, you can achieve increased efficiency by reducing inputs, but this will eventually negatively affect yields. Likewise, squandering of resources to maximize productivity results in increased environmental impacts and decreased profitability. The 4R nutrient stewardship framework is globally applicable. It can be applied to a diverse range of agricultural system types and sizes. The overarching goal of 4Rs is to match the nutrient supply with crop requirements and to minimize nutrient loss from farm fields. Specifically, if we optimize the uptake of nutrients by the plant, we minimize the amount that is lost to the environment. However, while the 4Rs may be the first line of defense for reducing nutrient loss, they are by no means the only action. Other supporting conservation practices play a key role in mitigating losses. The 4Rs provide a framework to achieve cropping system goals: increased production, increased farm profitability, enhanced environmental protection, and improved sustainability. To achieve these goals, the 4Rs utilize fertilizer best management practices that address the right fertilizer source, applied at the right time, the right rate, and the right place. Fertilizer best management practices related to the right source match fertilizer type with crop needs. Right rate matches the amount of the fertilizer to the crop yields. Right time ensures nutrients are available when the plant needs them. And right place ensures nutrients are located where the plant can access and use them. The 4 rights are necessary for sustainable plant nutrition, and the assessment of any planned set of practices should consider the economic, social, and environmental effects to determine whether or not it is a right practice for that system. The best way to understand what we mean by 4R practices is to take a look at how they are used in the field. Through TFI's 4R Advocate program, which will be discussed in upcoming slides, We have access to 25 pairs of retailers and their growers who can provide insights into implementing 4Rs on the farm. For example, in eastern Iowa, Darren Stulte farms 1,100 acres of corn, soybeans, and alfalfa and maintains a small cow-calf operation. He works with his retailer, Jimmy Daughtry, at River Valley Cooperative to make his nutrient management decisions. Darren's goals are to increase crop yields, reduce nutrient loss from the cropping system, and be the role model for area farmers. Working in conjunction with Iowa Soybean Association's on-farm network, their efforts have allowed Darren to increase corn yields by 20 to 30 bushels per acre while improving nitrogen use efficiency from 0.95 to 0.75 pounds of nitrogen per bushel. In 2015, for the first time, Darren had a field average that was over 250 bushels of corn per acre. To help make nutrient decisions, they collect samples on 2.5-acre grids every 2 to 3 years. Using the soil sample data combined with yield maps, they are able to variable rate apply nutrients to ensure the right parts of the field are getting the right amounts of nutrients. Timing of nitrogen applications are important to Darren's goals, so they apply a portion of the crop's nitrogen need pre-plant as stabilized urea, followed by placing urea ammonium nitrate in a 3x3 band when seeds are planted, and then applying additional nitrogen as needed later in the season. A 3x3 band means the product is applied 3 inches from the seed furrow and 3 inches below the soil surface to ensure placement that won't harm the seed, but will be available to the growing roots later on. Recognizing the crop also needs micronutrients, he includes those in his nutrient plan as well. To determine additional nutrient needs, Darren and Jimmy perform in-season assessments of the plant stands and evaluate available soil nitrogen to meet the plant's growth needs. This allows for a mid-season nutrient application. For the mid-season application, they use a Y-drop sprayer to target the nutrients placement for optimal plant uptake, all the while working with Iowa Soybean Association's on-farm network on small plot rate trials to better understand the crop's nutritional needs. For more examples of practice adoption on the farm, take a look at any of our other 4R advocates. They represent production on over 131,000 acres across the U.S. and are located in a wide variety of geographies and cropping systems. The practices being implemented on Darren's farm provide great insight to what 4Rs look like on the farm. But what constitutes a right practice? Every farming operation is different. Crops, soil types, climate, seed genetics, equipment selection, management decisions, they're all variable between farms. For that reason, decision-making about the right practice is site-specific. And because every nutrient application involves all 4Rs, the practices are interrelated and must be considered collectively. Decisions should also be arrived at based on existing knowledge and supporting science. In-field assessment and adaptation based on results can significantly enhance making the right decisions. During the recent 4R strategic planning process that took place in the last 9 months, the fertilizer industry members developed a vision where all plant nutrients are applied using a measurable and recognized 4R nutrient stewardship framework, evidenced through better crop performance, improved soil health, and cleaner air and water. We will use this vision to guide our 4R efforts for years to come. In support of the vision, goals were identified to move towards greater adoption by the industry and ultimately on the farm. Understanding the important role retailers and agronomic consultants have in grower decision-making resulted in a goal focused on crop production advisors engaging their customers on 4R nutrient stewardship and how it relates to environmental, economic, and social outcomes. We also understand there is a continued need for information and filling of knowledge gaps regarding outcomes on 4R adoption. Therefore, a second goal is to understand the factors affecting nutrient movement within the environment and the role of nutrient best management practices to increase sustainability. The first goals align with the third goal, which is 4R adoption on the farm. As we engage in these efforts, there is a need to efficiently use our human and monetary resources, so the fourth goal is to build successful partnerships and prioritize implementation of practices at the farm gate in key issue-based geographies. Finally, our results will not be successful without an informed and knowledgeable stakeholder base. Leveraging efforts by others in support of the 4Rs is an invaluable opportunity. The fertilizer retailer and independent agronomist community plays a key role in information exchange to farmers. A 2014 survey of Michigan farmers indicated that fertilizer dealers are their most important information source when determining nutrient application rates. The retail and agronomy industry has an influence on the farm. In a recent AgPro article on nutrient stewardship, Mike Wilson of Wabash Valley FS and a 2013 4R advocate noted that retailers should serve as leaders for their farmer customers by educating them and showing concern for the environment. The 4Rs and discussions on nutrient loss to the environment as a result of nutrient loss from the root zone are valuable in explaining fertilizer management decision tools and considered practice changes. If you're not a retailer or an agronomist working directly with farmers, don't think your organization can't also play a role in 4R efforts. With all the negativity directed towards agriculture, whether it be organic versus conventional, GMO versus non-GMO, fertilizer polluting the water, or fertilizer contributing to climate change, the 4Rs help tell our story. Taking the opportunity to have a positive response in the negative debate is a role that you can take. Further, companies that produce, manufacture, and distribute products to retailers and who provide literature to agronomists and growers have a significant opportunity to spread the word. Social media, websites, advertising, product literature, earned media, conversations with customers all provide key outreach points on the 4Rs. There is, of course, competition within the industry, but on this, we must be unified. If you want to further your understanding on 4Rs beyond the information provided in this presentation, or you want a great resource to point people to, try the 4R educational modules available for free at the 4R website, nutrientstewardship.org, under the 4R Training tab. Each module contains background documentation and a 15 to 20-minute autoplay presentation that will provide additional detail about 4R practices. The modules are great for expanding knowledge for you and your staff on fertilizer best management practices and how each BMP affects or is affected by the environment. Also, it's a great tool to educate and inform our stakeholders who are engaging in related policy and planning decisions. Previously, I mentioned the 4R Advocate Program when providing an example of 4R practices being implemented on Darren's farm in Iowa. Darren and his retailer Jimmy are one of our current 25 pairs of 4R advocates across the country. Each fall, TFI opens a nomination process for retailers to nominate themselves and a grower customer as 4R advocates based on the efforts to implement 4Rs on the farm. Through a review process, we select 5 pairs of winners and invite them on an expense-paid trip to the Commodity Classic, where we host them at an awards banquet and they help us in the exhibit booth. The advocates represent a wide variety of geographies and cropping systems and serve as real-world examples that help us explain and show the value of 4R nutrient stewardship. Through press, social media, meetings and conferences, Hill briefings and magazine articles, their insights and ability to share their farm experiences provide a significant benefit to outreach. Another effort underway is the 4R Research Fund. When we talk about making decisions about which fertilizer best management practice to use, the basis for that decision is on how it improves productivity. Yet in today's climate, we must also understand the impact of those practices on profitability, water quality, climate change, and sustainability. The Research Fund is based on a 5-year, $7 million commitment by the fertilizer industry to assess those research and knowledge gaps. Currently, research projects, funding by the industry, are underway in the U.S. and Canada. Currently, initial results of those efforts are becoming available, but there are several more years of data to be collected. Information on those projects and annual reports are available on the 4R website under the Research tab. There are many resources available and lots of ways you can engage. If your organization is not already a 4R partner, check out the effort and consider ways you can support 4R outreach. Becoming a 4R partner is free and provides access to branding materials and other items you can use. Not sure if your organization is a 4R partner? Check the link and peek through the 100+ partner list. Active in social media, follow 4R efforts by keeping up with us through Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. On the 4R homepage, you can also sign up for the quarterly newsletter via the Contact Us link. We also have a very popular 4R Pocket Guide. It's a small 3.5 by 4-inch booklet based on the IP&I 4R Plant Nutrition Manual, which gives 4R partners the opportunity to do outreach and also some co-branding if they're interested. Nutrient stewardship is a priority for the fertilizer industry. We don't ultimately control how farmers decide to use our products, but we do have significant ability to influence them through many outlets and stakeholder partners. What can you do to spread the word?